Because of all the blood and all of that, I'm having a miscarriage basically. It makes no point doing the scan.
A lot of people judge, but they don't know the work it took, and I can't force their eyes open if nobody wanna look.
What's up, LCW family? What's going on? It's your boy Walden and your girl.
Who is it? Oh. Clover.
Yeah. Sound a bit dry.
Can't give me this because it's a bit dry. Can someone my lip woman? Looking at my hair, everything off my face. Look at your nose white now.
Should I just leave it like that?
I don't know. Can you see your nose?
Try pulling him aside.
I couldn't tell.
That's so.
I was just about to say your face so hard in real life, like I can't put it in.
Whatever. If you know what I was about, because.
Get another cushion so I can put behind my back.
You want a cushion, babe?
No, not that one. Get one from over there. Because I'm trying to sit down here with posture and.
There you go, sweetie.
Okay.
How's that? You want another one?
No, this feels good. This feels perfect.
Okay, let's get into this, guys. As you guys know and have read the title while you're here with us, we're gonna give you guys a
story time.
Story time.
Basically, because you know, like from the beginning, and like we announced that we was pregnant at 23 weeks.
Yeah.
At 23 weeks, so I was already in I'm still in my second trimester. I am 26 weeks today. Well, tomorrow I'll be 27.
Tomorrow I'll make it 27.
Yeah,
so as you guys your calculation.
The first video, the reason.
Your calculation.
Yeah.
There's a few weeks gap.
Yeah. And since we did like the first video, the camera got messed. Not the camera, the laptop.
We had some technical difficulties
so we had to take the laptop
along the way as well. And your favorite person in the world, Clover, was back in and out of the hospital a few times in the few weeks.
But it's mainly because of the laptop, because we could have edited the first video and probably.
Oh no! I'm just saying.
In between, yeah.
I'm just saying what we've been doing and what they miss.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you guys are gonna get a quick story time and how we felt and what your favorite person's been through since you found out we.
Yeah. Guys, this shirt not giving what it's supposed to give, you know?
What do you mean?
I don't know. In my head it would look different, but I don't know. I'm not giving.
Girl, you glowing. Stop it.
Okay.
Behave yourself. You are stunning. Relax yourself. Oh, come on now. Side that out. Yes.
Okay, so guys, we don't want the video to be like too long and drawn out, so I'm just gonna try and get like straight into
it.
Basically,
first off, let's start off and.
Can we take turns talking? Because I feel like every
time no. First off, how did you feel when you were pregnant? When you found out?
Well, I want to tell them how we found out. Like,
okay,
they
go
probably
on.
want to know, like, if I took a pregnancy test and surprised you, and you know that whole shebang.
Yeah, go on then.
First of all, I didn't take a pregnancy test. I know you find it weird, and you probably find it strange. Like, huh? Why didn't you? I didn't pee on one stick.
Your boy know what he was doing.
Basically, because.
Your boy know what he was doing.
I knew I was pregnant, first of all, like, based on how I felt. I just felt pregnant. My symptoms weren't like period-like symptoms. It was just pregnant symptoms. And I know my body. So instead of like taking a test, I just waited until like my next cycle, and then I missed my period. I knew for a fact I was pregnant.
How you felt at that time?
To be honest, I felt like, I don't know, I felt like, because I'm old, I feel like I'm so old and...
Mimi, you...
Babe,
Hey,
I
babe.
am. And Cody is 9 years old.
Babe, you don't even know the definition of old.
Okay, no, I
are
wouldn't say I
still
am
a
old.
baby.
I am still very young.
You're still a
but
baby.
for what I've always told myself, I wouldn't have a child at this age.
Hey, you as young as you
know?
feel. You ever hear that saying?
And
You're
then
as young as you feel.
That's true.
So if you're gonna keep telling yourself, oh, I'm old, you gotta cut that out.
And then I was thinking, Cody is 9. I'm already out of the whole diaper phase, everything, you know. And I'm just thinking, do I really want to go back into that and dedicate my life to somebody else for another couple of years? You know, Cody's soon big and out, and I'm still have to be getting up, and it was really hard. And do I really want to do this? But I was still happy because I'm like a whole human being's in my belly. Like, I'm going to be a mom again. I'm gonna have a newborn baby, you know what I mean?
She said newborn baby, you know. Oh
Just
my
have a
gosh.
whole new baby, like, I don't know, and it was, I felt happy. I felt,
She just said that.
I did feel very happy, and I felt happy because it was with Walden as well. No, I always say I don't want to have 2 baby daddies, I always want to have one.
You just know you frightened. It's like, what do you mean? It means one and Israel. Like me, Cody is not what's going on?
I mean, I don't want to, I always want my kids to have one father.
Choose your words wisely, or it's gonna be ding ding ding.
So I'm happy and to share everything with him, and yeah, I was happy.
You was happy.
I was, yeah, because of what happened and all of that. I'm talking about in the beginning. I was happy, and then things changed to why I wasn't happy again.
Oh, okay.
How did you feel?
First off, I knew that Chloe was pregnant when her mood was going like this. I was like, wait, what really happening? What really
was going like that?
All over the place. 1 minute here, you level energy up here. And then the next time you just and then you go, hi.
I don't understand.
And then you go,
is it because one time I'm happy, then I'm
hey,
sad?
you were all over the place.
In terms of what, like do I act?
The way how you act and the way how you move. Understand? Listen, you could drop a eyelash and she upstairs. It would sound like an explosion to her. From touching her, boom. I was like, oh my gosh, you okay? What's going on? So something wrong. Something wrong. Something is wrong here. But at the same time, when she said, oh, I'm pregnant, I was astonished.
Why?
I was like, God damn, did I do that? Over the moon. So yeah.
And then after everything, it was like, because for my first trimester, I wouldn't say I felt like this, how I felt now. I had a lot of cravings, and it was different cravings, and sometimes I thought like I frustrated Rob, and I knew I frustrated him because he expressed it in terms of like wanting things to eat, and like the different times I wanted stuff to eat and not getting what I want to eat and stuff like that. I wouldn't say I was as energetic, because I was really, I don't know if I was depressed. Not that I was depressed because I was pregnant. I don't know, because I'm normally a person who always clean and do all of that, but like a couple of weeks within my first trimester, Walden was the one doing all the cleaning. Like I wouldn't even like fold my clothes. I would get out of bed and just eat and go back into bed.
I don't know what it was. We can't
Yeah.
really say
It was,
you were depressed.
yeah, that's all.
You were more depressed, like what happened at the hospital and so forth, and then your whole mood just
After
changed.
that, yeah.
And then you gone into like I don't care mood.
Kinda. He would say, yeah. It was like,
Yeah, well,
I
I don't
don't
care
care.
mood
I didn't even
and
want
so
to
forth, so
cook. I
forth.
didn't want to. I just couldn't. I don't know what it was.
You were just being typical, you know?
And like I would have my clothes there. I wouldn't even. And I'm a person. Any little thought annoys me. Any little thing out of place annoys me. I didn't even care to like wash up my dishes. I didn't care to do anything. I could have just sat in the house with pigs around me and it wouldn't bother me. That's.
But tan tan tan, your boy was there.
He was there, but he moaned and groaned. I'm like, he moans it. Every time he goes, he's like, oh, yeah,
You were more depressed, like what happened at the hospital and so forth, and then your whole mood just changed.
After that, yeah.
And then you gone into like I don't care mood.
Kinda. He would say, yeah. It was
Yeah,
like,
well, I don't care mood
I didn't even
and
want
so
to
forth, so
cook.
forth.
I didn't want to. I just couldn't. I don't know what it was.
You were just being typical, you know?
And like I would have my clothes there. I wouldn't even. And I'm a person. Any little thought annoys me. Any little thing out of place annoys me. I didn't even care to like wash up my dishes. I didn't care to do anything. I could have just sat in the house with pigs around me and it wouldn't bother me. That's.
But tan tan tan, your boy was there.
He was there, but he moaned and groaned. I'm like, he moans it. Every time he goes, he's like, all these dishes in the kitchen. I'm like, oh.
Like, look like Dino Washington too, no? Wow, listen. But still do it anyway, still, because I'm the same. I don't like nastiness like that. It made me disgusted, but yeah.
And story time. Basically, we're gonna tell you guys. This is kind of touchy feely for me. I don't know if I wanted to really talk about it, like what happened at the hospital and why I went into like depressed mode or whatever. Should we leave it for another story time or should we just tell them now?
You should probably, it's up to you.
I don't know. I think I
It's
have
up
to
to you.
really think about telling it because I don't want to like cry on the camera, and every time I think about it I feel this kind of, I don't know how to explain it. It's this kind of fear. Fear? Is it fear? Well, you wouldn't know, but whatever. We'll give you the story time about what happened during my first trimester and all of that. But anyways, moving on. After like everything was okay and stuff, we were wondering like, should we like spread the news and stuff like that? Should we tell people, start like telling everyone that, you know, we're having a baby? But I didn't really want to. The first person I told was my best friend. I told her everything that was happening and stuff, and then I told my mom, my sisters and stuff. But I still didn't really want to tell anybody because it's just I don't want people to get excited and then make me excited and then things don't go the way I want it to go, or you know, for me to get to the story, I have to probably tell them why.
I know, but it's up to you.
Okay. So basically,
It's all up
let's
to you.
bring it all the way back. What happened during my first trimester? When I was like, what did I say? Early in my pregnancy, I used to have a lot of pains, like
A lot of abdominal pains.
yeah, it was like in my left side. It was not my right side, my left side. But it was really bad. Like every night it would happen. It was like cramping, can't walk. I have to call the ambulance, and it happened a few times. And I had to like stay in the hospital. And
She literally spent more than half of her first trimester in the hospital.
yeah.
More than half.
And then when I went to the hospital, they did like a
One.
ultrasound.
Yeah.
But they did the one on my tummy first, but because I was so early, they couldn't really see anything or well, anything that was
Yeah,
wrong.
they couldn't see anything.
Right. So then they had to use the ultrasound where they push it up, you know, my vagina, and look, and then they found out that I had a cyst. But the cyst, it wasn't like a threatening cyst. It wasn't anything they said to be worrying about, but it was just causing me a lot of discomfort and pain. I don't know why, but so I was on painkillers for that, which I wasn't worried or anything because they told me it's nothing to be worried about. They can't do anything at the moment because I'm pregnant, so it's just a case of monitoring the cyst basically and taking the pain relief. But the pain relief I was taking, it made me really sick. So every time I took it, because I used to vomit every night. People had morning sickness, I think I had night sickness. And it was every night, every time I finished it, because all it's like, oh yeah, no, you're gonna vomit now, but it's like routine. Every time I took the pain relief, I would vomit, and they also gave me like anti-sickness to take with it, but most times anti-sickness didn't work, and the pain was just like getting worse and worse, even when I took the painkillers. Anyways, fast forward. Still taking the painkillers.
Okay.
Oh, still taking the painkillers. I woke up. I can remember. It was 6:57 in the morning, and I woke up and I felt like my panties were really wet. And like I had like a cramping pain in my tummy. But the night before that, before I went to sleep, like my belly was hurting me, but it wasn't like on the one side like it usually is. It was like period cramp, but it was like worse, and it was hurting really bad. And Walter was like, you want to go to the hospital? I said, no, I'll just take like the painkillers and, you know, go and lie down. But then the morning I woke up, like, and I felt like my panties were really wet. And normally, like, when I go to the bathroom to pee, I don't normally like turn on the lights or anything. I just do everything in the dark, and you know, because you don't want to shake that sleepiness out of you. You want to keep that sleepiness in, so when you get to bed, you can fall back to sleep easily. But I don't know. It just felt, my panties just felt so wet, and I was like, this is not normal. So then I turned on the light, and then I looked in the toilet, and then it was just red. It was just blood in the toilet. I'm like, what the hell? And my panties had blood, and I was like, I need to go to the hospital. So I changed my panties and stuff, and put on a pad and stuff, and I went to the hospital. And when I got to the hospital, I told them what happened. So basically, I didn't wait for that long, but I waited a bit, and then I saw two doctors. I guess one was like the student, you know, the student trainee, and then the doctor or whatever. And they told me, well, they asked me what was happening, and they asked me like if I passed clots and stuff, and I said yes. So he said he's gonna call like the women's hospital and like have them like try and see me to get a scan to see if like the baby's still there and stuff. So I was like, okay. And then he came back into the room, the two of them, and he was like, they say it don't make any sense we do a scan. So I'm like, why not do the scan, you know, just to make sure that I'm still pregnant, you know, just whatever, because I don't know, I just wanted a scan done, basically. I guess everybody would. And he said, well, because of all the blood and all of that, I'm having a miscarriage, basically. It makes no point doing the scan. because I'm having a miscarriage. So obviously I started to cry. So
at this point, because of the COVID restrictions stuff and everything,
yeah,
your
and
spouse wasn't allowed to
still
stay in the
so I
hospital.
was there
So
all alone, like
she
by
was on her
myself as
own
well.
and so forth. And these people who you think that's supposed to be taking care of you, doing their job correctly, didn't follow any protocols, whatever you want to call it, that day. Because to me, if you are pregnant and they know you are pregnant, regardless of how early of the pregnancy, and stuff like this happens, yeah, as a man, I'm not a doctor, but don't you guys think they should have done the scan and so forth to see what was the problem than to just diagnose and say, what is it, babe?
Miscarriage.
That she had a miscarriage without running any tests, without doing anything whatsoever. He just come back into the room and says she's having a miscarriage. They don't need to do this, they don't need to do that. He just called it as he thought it was. Let this young lady came out of the hospital all depressed, sad, down,
Crying.
you understand? Where we decided.
But
No, what happened was.
What happened in the room. So
Okay.
while I was there, basically, so I started to cry, and obviously he told me, they left me in the room, and he said, stay in here as long as I want. Just stay in here and process everything as long as I want, and someone from the women's hospital is gonna call me, and talk to me and stuff. And then a little later, this woman nurse, she came into the room with a paper in her hand, and she had like all these support groups and stuff for people who was going through miscarriage. She told me like I can call them and talk to them, and they could help me like get through it, and then it just sank in, like, this is really happening, like, fuck, like, I lost a baby. And I don't know, that just made me, I don't know, that was the icing on the cake for me. Like when she came in and brought the paper and was telling me about the support groups and like talking to me and like trying to make me feel better, basically, because nobody wants to go through that. It was traumatic. It just sank in, and I was like, I don't know, I just wanted to get out of it. I just wanted to go home. So I left and met Wallen in the car, and then he was, trying to tell me everything, everything happened for a reason, and trying to make me feel better about it. That I wasn't bleeding, and I called the hospital, and I was explaining to them. So I called the women's hospital, and I was explaining to her like, nothing's happening, I'm not passing anything, I'm not bleeding. So she was like, well, what I need to do is I need to call my doctor and have my doctor refer me to them so that they can do a scan. Because they can't just see me to do the scan, I have to be referred because of COVID. So I think it was a Friday I called, so I had to wait till the Monday because my doctor's not open on the weekends. And she was telling me, I could still be pregnant as well, but she wouldn't know unless I do the scan. So I had to wait until the Monday to call my doctor and have them call the hospital so I can go get a scan. And I did that, and my doctor said, okay, she's going to call them and then she's going to call me back. So then she called, and then a few minutes later she called me back and she said, they say they can't see me for the scan because of COVID. They're not seeing anyone to do scans at the moment. So there's nothing really, all I have to do is just wait. So I'm like, what if I'm pregnant? What if something's wrong? Like, why was I bleeding? I want answers, basically. But she couldn't do anything, and then I think the week after I went back into the hospital, because I think obviously I was stressing and thinking about it, so I had like really bad headaches. So I went back to the hospital and I saw a doctor, and they did a scan and stuff of my brain and stuff, and everything was okay. But then I saw this other doctor, and I was telling him, I was explaining to him, like, they say I'm having a miscarriage, and I was telling him what's happening. He's like, oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Your body's just waiting to let everything go or whatever. He's 100% sure that I'm having a miscarriage. And my headache is probably just from me stressing, and he said they have support groups and all that. I told him I got that already. He told me to just go home and relax and stop thinking about it, because it's like traumatic, but just try and relax myself, because that's what's making me sick and get these headaches and stuff. So I listened and I went home, and still nothing was happening, going on to 2 weeks or even more than 2 weeks, and nothing was happening. So I told her, I honestly just have a feeling that I'm still pregnant. I don't know, I just felt it within me that I was pregnant. I just felt it. And then he said, and I said, you know what, we should probably just go and do a scan, because I don't want to be pregnant and think I'm not pregnant and probably go do things I'm not supposed to do and lose the baby, or you know what I mean, or if something's wrong I should probably terminate. I don't know, I just wanted to know what it was, why I was bleeding. I just wanted answers. So we made an appointment to go and do the scan privately. Yeah, and after we did it, the whatever you call these people who do it, she was there and she was doing it, and she's like, there's a baby there. So I'm like, what do you mean? So she's like, okay, let's check and see if there's a heartbeat. And then she checked, because at this time the baby was really small. It was really tiny. But then she checked, and then there was a heartbeat,
There was a heartbeat. And these people, where we went to do the scan, they themselves was upset.
Yeah, they were like, they shouldn't have done that to you.
Yeah,
like, nobody
they were upset because, and they're the one who told us that what they did, it shouldn't go down like that. They broke protocol, they procedures. They should have gone through the proper procedures before they made that call, and it was wrong. Yeah, them the ones who told us that as well. So.
And she also said, she was like, let me just look to see if there's anything that I missed. But at the end of the day, she's not a doctor, she's only trained to read the scans and do all of that. She told me like she saw a little blood or whatever, but it's nothing to worry about at the moment. She said like the fetus, everything looks good. Everything's like what it's supposed to be. The heartbeat is normal and measurements perfect.
This is why we were
skeptical.
Yeah, why we were thinking we didn't want anyone to know, because we didn't know what was gonna happen.
Yeah.
We didn't want to let anyone know and be excited and so forth. So we just kept to ourselves, pray every day, and take it one day at a time. Yeah.
But I was really happy when she told me I was still pregnant. But at the end of the day, I didn't want to allow myself to feel happy, because I didn't know. I really didn't know why I was bleeding, and I didn't want to feel happy. And then like I wake up and something's wrong. So I don't know. But I still just had hope, and I only told my best friend basically. And that is it, because I stayed a while before I even told my mom about it.
My side of the family just recently found out.
Yeah.
Because I still didn't want to tell anyone, but they just recently found it. It's something that you can't hide. For you know what I'm saying?
If I want to hide it, I can hide it. But
yeah,
they'd be like, Here's my baby.
As long as you're going out in public, it's something you can't hide.
Yeah, but we're not obligated to tell anybody. It's our business.
So
if you want to keep it private, it's our right to keep it
they just
private.
recently found out anyway. It's all good. It's all good. Madam is taking it, as I said, one day at a time.
Right. And also, going forward, like, what happened is I started to get headaches as well. Because I don't know. I started to get headaches. So, I don't know. As I said in the beginning, I was down and depressed. And that's the reason why. I don't know if I was depressed. I was more just not trying to be happy. And I guess I just made myself not happy. Because I didn't want to be excited about something I wasn't sure about. If that makes sense. So... But after I passed like my first trimester, like when I passed 16 weeks, I was told like, you know, you're kind of in the safe zone. So I started to feel more excited and I think my mood started to change. I started to do more and get out more, but I was still a bit, you know, but then after I started to get headaches again, like really bad headaches, and I don't know, and I just felt like I'm not stressing or anything. I know I do worry, and I mean any person who's pregnant, any woman who's pregnant, they're gonna worry, they're gonna question a lot of things and feel like, am I ready? Even if they have 5 kids already, they're gonna feel like, they're gonna question themselves, and I question a lot. Still do, but I know I wasn't stressing like that because I was starting to feel happy. So recently I've been having a lot of headaches and stuff, and then I went to the doctor, found out my pressure is high, and it's been happening a lot, like, as I say, in the hospital for the same thing. So then with Cody, I had preeclampsia, which is when you suffer from high blood pressure, so I had to be induced and stuff to have him because it's risky for the mom and the baby. And now with this baby, it's happening again, which it's not... It's scary if you wanna know what preeclampsia is.
It is scary. You guys should go and research it. If it's scary for her, you could imagine how it thing for me, bro. It's stupidly crazy, man.
We're just trying to, you know, be positive. I'm trying to take my medication every day.
Yeah.
I'm really skeptical about taking all those medications, but well then, things that, because I've tried to come off of it, but when I come off of it, I get sick.
You get real sick.
Yeah.
And then you're sick enough to be hospitalized for 2-3 days at a time.
So I'm trying to just keep on top of my medication right now. If you guys can just pray for us so we have a healthy and a safe delivery. Full term, I really want to go full term. That's what I'm praying for most of all, is to carry the baby till full term. I want to go through the whole experience where like my water breaks at home and we have to be rushing to gather everything, and I'm in the car and stuff. That's what I want. You know, I just want that experience because I didn't have it with Cody. Everything they decided when I was gonna have my baby, it was just not like that. You know, I want to see how he panics and stuff. I just want to go.
The boy ain't gonna panic nowhere, bro. So, I think this is Hollywood. He ain't panicking nowhere. I got this.
You got this.
I got this.
I don't think so, but we'll see. Trust me. He's gonna be one of the dads that just faints out in the room.
I got this. I got this.
Because I asked him if he's gonna look down. You gonna look? He said no. Like, why don't you want to see? That's a
listen. Don't you listen? We are going to try something, yeah? Something. Guys, look out for that video. I ain't gonna say much, but we'll look out for it.
But anyways, guys, so at the moment everything's going okay. I'm taking my medication as I should every single day. I'm trying to eat as much as I can. Some days
as healthy as possible.
Yeah, my appetite's not there. He always made me feel bad for things. I just buy little gummy bears, you know.
She should not be eating
little gummy bears, little vegan gummy bears. I hate eating, and this boy he making me feel guilty for
so much sugar. So much sugar, my baby will come and say, "Where's the sugar, bitch?"
And I just feel
where's
so
the sugar?
Like,
you know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Come on, man.
I've gained so much weight as well. I don't know, like,
Come on, man.
I don't know. But anyways, guys, that's it. I mean, the story I could go longer, but I think this video is long enough. If you want to hear more, you can just comment and we can always give more, because there's so much more that happened, but it's just too long to say in one video, to be honest.
Yeah, it was a rough road, but
Yeah.
together.
I did this shit all by myself.
Together, you've been locked away in the hospital so for them so long, and it comes like you done it by yourself.
Yeah, it's so sad though with COVID that I always
just like the other day.
Alone.
She went for a checkup just the other day. Finally, COVID restrictions beginning to lift.
Yeah.
Oh, your spouse could come in.
Yeah.
I go in. What did they do to you?
All they did was take my blood.
Take her blood.
Come in the room. They take my blood.
Take up and then kick me out.
Test. Yeah. So
and
you know,
they
for
kick
the glucose test, you have to wait. It's like a fasting thing. So after you take the first blood works, you have to wait 2 hours before you take the second one. So there's like, oh, it's possible. So it's like, oh yeah, we're going together. You want to see us like champions?
After she take the blood,
the
nurse said,
sitting down. The nurse
you got to leave.
You can't be in
they
here.
Kick me out.
You have to wait outside the
like,
building.
What the whole point? Like,
so like, I asked them, can I wait outside with him as well? They said, no, you have to stay inside. He can come back when you're taking the second. But I said, you don't want to just sit and watch me take blood.
Proper protocols in there. You're 6 feet apart. You got your mask on. The whole works. But they let you come in just to stand there, watch they take the blood. And then the nurse say, get out.
We took COVID tests at home because I have the kids, so we actually even took our tests at home and we have to show them the pictures that we took the test before we went in. And it don't make any sense because, I mean, he's just sitting beside me. We came together in the same car. We live in the same house. We sleep in the same bed. We do shit where our bodily fluids get mixed up.
It's ridiculous.
He was already in the building mingling for how long?
That's how it is.
It just don't make no sense. And then I had to sit there for 2 hours by myself again.
We are doing this thing together. I am trying my utmost best to keep young lady pressure low, keep her happy, comfortable.
But then you can't tell me about my food, baby. It stresses me out.
And yet she doing stuff like this, you know, raising my blood pressure. But it's all good. It's all good. Guys, pray for us. Keep us in your thoughts, in your prayers. Keep the baby, our unborn, in your prayers. You know what I'm saying? You'll be fine, but you know, it is what it is. Yeah?
And the baby registry will be, the link will be in the description if you want to buy anything.
Yeah.
You can go and click and purchase. You don't have to, but if you want to.
But yeah. Alright, guys. You guys have any question about anything?
If you want to share your story as well,
yeah.
I really want to know, like, if anybody ever go through this. It could be your partner or you, if
a friend,
anything, just
family member, so forth. Anything that you guys think that could help with some of the stuff that she just mentioned. Yeah, you guys let us know if you want to share anything and so forth. Yeah.
But your prayers most of all is needed most of all this time.
If you reach this far in the video, just give like a thumbs up. That's it. That'll be fine. Yeah. You got anything you want to say, babe?
No. All we need is your prayers. Just your prayers.
Yeah. And we are LCW. We out. Kaboom.
Back to let them know why I slay again. Got to let them know I don't afraid of them. I just hold my own, chilling in my place. I was in.